highly welcome.
Thank you very much, sir. Good morning, everybody. It's afternoon already? Yes. Okay, so good afternoon, everybody. So standing on all existing protocol, due to time constraint, I'll go straight to the assignment I've been given to me this morning. And by way of introduction, my name is Abraham Oni, and I'm an engineer by training and also by practice. So, amongst other things, So, I have a very important topic before me this morning that we're going to discuss, because after I must have made my presentation, the floor will be open for conversation. And we could ask questions and we may interact together. So, we're looking at leveraging technology and smart infrastructure for safer public spaces. Why is this topic very key to the occasion of the day? We can take that key from the theme of this event. So like we can see there, the theme says securing public facilities for national safety. And we know this institute is all about safety. When you talk about Environment and Safety Management Institute, from the name itself, we could see it's all about safety. Safety at workplace, national safety, safety at home, all-around safety, personal safety. So, but for the occasion of today, we were narrowing down, talking on leveraging technology. Like I said, I'm an engineer, so I can see the reason why the institute say, okay, you should take this topic. So I'll be sharing from my wealth of experience, and from some other that I've seen working in other clients, and we'll be putting them together to see in this dialogue how we can take a glean from some of these and see how we can implement them in our whole country and in our own security system so that we become more effective. I used to tell people most times in my classes that the largest room in the world is the room for what? Improvement. Is the room for improvement. There is no system, even the almighty Western country, no system is in its perfect state yet. So Nigeria is not excluded. The truth is, I cannot safely deliver this topic if we don't first break down the concept of what a public space is. I'm quite sure everybody knows what is a public space, but that would be a very dangerous assumption. Because when it comes to knowledge, when it comes to education, you don't assume. Somebody said that assumption is the lowest level of what? Information. It's the lowest level. So, without any assumption, what is a public space? What is a public space? I'm not here to read notes and to speak some big grammars and to use some terminologies just to look as an elite or somebody who is well read. I'll be speaking in plain terms and simple languages that any individual, whatsoever level of education, should be able to understand, because the essence of the whole discourse is to provide solution and to be able to formulate ways to enhance the security of our public spaces, thereby enhancing national security. So when we say public spaces, we are talking about arenas, environment. We're talking about perimeters where people converge, right? For whatsoever purpose. And the purpose is relative, and that's why we have different names given to different public spaces. So like we talked about park. So when you're talking about park, we have motor park, right? That's a public space. And then you talk about park, you can have a national park, maybe meant for nature, you just go to see elements in their natural state, right? So that is just an example of a public space. In fact, where we are gathered today can also be said to be what? A public space, because it's involved a convergence of people. And once you have a certain number of people converge in a particular location, it is pertinent that security measures are taken into place. So, we are now talking about how do we as a nation, as a community, what are the things we could do to ensure safety across our public spaces and the safety of our public facility. So, yeah, permit me to just take a cue from something that I've written down here, where I said public spaces are essential components of urban life, and they offering venues for what? Recreation, for social interactions and cultural expressions. However, rising concern, comes with where people are gathered, like I said, which is more of security. Why? Because some evil-minded people also sees that place as an opportunity to perpetuate crime. And that is the reason we are talking about how do we secure such places. Okay, so an example of public spaces, I said we have parks, right? We have transit hubs, we have plazas. In Abuja, we have a lot of plazas, shopping malls. These are public spaces. We have marketplaces, right? So we have play arenas, where people go and have fun. And these are examples of public spaces. And the current challenge, as I said, is that evil-minded individuals, enemy of progress, have targeted same space to perpetuate their crime. And our duty this afternoon is to come up with a framework of how we can make such places safe. And not just safety of people, but also safety of public facilities. The facilities. Very, very important. If you are taking note of the activities of Boko Haram over the time when they've started, you will know that they don't just target people alone. But most of the news talk about human, because life is the utmost thing, right? When you lose property, people say, oh, you can always get it back and everything, But the truth is, especially in Borno State, I've seen situations where Boko Haram targets some infrastructures. I think there was a time, almost a year, they don't have electricity in Maiduguri or something. Simply because these guys targeted one of the main, electricity infrastructure there and bombed it, and these guys were not having lights for quite a very long period of time. So, how do we make all these places safe? Internet of Things, that's IoT, part of what I do. You will be in your offices and you can control your house from your phone. You forgot to off your AC, don't worry. You get to work, you say, hey, you put up the AC from your phone. Or you are coming home and you have your rice cooker, and already you must have put your rice inside before you leave. And you want the food to be done before you get to, you can put it on while you are driving home, and by the time you are home, your rice is ready inside the cooker. So what I'm trying to say, I'm taking a cue from the way technology have come to change a whole lot of things. So why can't we also leverage on technology to secure ourselves? And that is part of what we are looking at this morning. So I haven't used the smart home to explain how technology have come to change the face of things in the housing, environment. Then let's talk about in securing our public facilities. I will start with the one that we all know, we are used to, surveillance cameras. By now, there should not, I don't see the reason why we should have any public spaces in Nigeria without what? CCTV. I don't just understand why at this age, when in other climes, in other developed countries of the world. Let me give you this caveat, please. I know we are great people here and we'll travel to nations of the world. Some of us have already started. Please, anywhere you go to, just assume. Don't say I didn't see anything. The way technology has gone, just assume that you are being watched 24 hours. I'm telling you the truth. You'll be shocked. I'm just trying to let you know how far other countries have gone, that we are still not having enough of such surveillances in our public spaces. Please. We now have cameras that are as small as a button.
You just be looking at wall clock is a camera. Are you with me? Even inside your television, there is a camera. Ordinary hanger on the wall is a camera. They are normal things you know, but you don't know there are pinhole cameras in some of those stuff. A way where they gather their surveillances, gather their information. So why can't we adopt some of this? So back to what I was saying. Having CCTV, I mean, China, for example, right? Okay, I think I'm going too far. Let's come to Kenya, African country. Let's come to Kenya. All these people, you say, oh, the road is one of our major infrastructure, right? And you see how people abuse the usage of roads and they do a whole lot of things. You know, even in recent time, it made the news when some enemy of progress begin to go on our highways, removing those manhole covers, those metallic manhole covers, and that has led to serious accidents and everything. And then the NASA police is raiding all the plantain cars, looking what a crude way. The technology have left. As they are picking it, you are aware. You are picking them on the act. So how many do you are going to plantain car and then you are doing? I just laughed when I saw the news. What stops we having surveillances on every of our streets? In some other countries, apart from the fact that they have surveillance cameras, in other countries, surveillance cameras on the... I'll go back to Kenya. I'll tell you what I wanted to talk about Kenya. Having surveillance cameras on their street, they have drones. Security what? Drones. It's not even the regular drones you see, this is drone. The technology has gone beyond that. Drones in form of insect. What did I say? Insect. You would think it's insect. It will just fly and just perch somewhere, station well, and is watching. Even if you see it, your mind will never go there that it's anything serious. So the question is that our leaders, when they travel, they don't see some of these things, or is it that there's no willpower to implement, or are they afraid that if they start implementing some of these things, they will be caught, you know what I mean? Like it will boomerang back. It just has to be one of those three. But they cannot deny the fact that their exposure have not opened them up to what is going on in the technological world for safety of our public spaces. So back to Kenya thing. You overspeed on the road, you beat traffic, there is no police that will harass you. You know why I use Kenya? If I've used UK, you say, it's a whole technology in the UK, that's why I'm coming home. Kenya. Nobody's going to discuss anything with you. You will be happy. No problem. Just check your mail. Check your mail. In fact, they will ask you to come by yourself, to come and report yourself. You dare not go because it's an organized system. Your name, everything is on the system. It's not a question of I will pay, I will not pay. They deduct it. They deduct the charges. That's what happens in an organized system. But I wouldn't blame Nigeria because even ordinary having a database for years has been a problem. I'm not here to talk against Nigeria. We are solution finders, right? But we must first admit we have a challenge before we can talk about, solution or way forward. We'll be struggling with database. Today they will come, they say BVN. Tomorrow NIN. And then which one again? Voters card. So what happens in gathering all those databases together and have one that no matter whoever you are, you can be traced down? Because it's only when you have such a database system, then some of this technology can start working because everybody's on the system. So we know who commit what crime, we know where you stay, we can track you down. And if you want to make any transaction, because this number is linked, not just in America, they have the social security number. So anything, we went to buy something in the mall, the system will trigger and tell them, say, oh, that guy where they look for just bought something now in a market square. They call the nearest police station there, and before you know it, they pick you up. So there is solution to some of these challenges we are having as a nation. We only just don't have the willpower, and I don't know where that is coming from. Okay, so let's quickly look at because my time is, actually I have a lot of things to say, but I have to stay within the ambience of the time that I'm given. So, so I gave the name, I said smart infrastructure concept. Remember I said something like that. So just I gave the example of a smart home. I said so we can integrate smart infrastructure, into our security system. So let me read one of the things I wrote here. Smart infrastructure integrates advanced technologies such as information and communication technology, the Internet of Things, I mentioned it, and artificial intelligence. Yeah, a very good one. Do you know AI is doing too much these days? Like it started irritating me. Like the people, you know why? Why it's irritating me? AI is a good technology, but people too they overdo. So now people have started using it to do several. Let me give you an example now. You can see yourself now on YouTube now. You are not the one, and they say you said this, you said that, and you're like, really? When? Like you be provoked, and it's so genuine. It looks so what real that you have to. You know the way they say you explain tire. Have you heard they say? They say. It would not take forensic, whatever, and they say, oh, this is AI. But those who have a good eye for tech knows when it is AI and when it is not. There are certain parameters you look at. So, but I'm saying that AI also can be put into use to be able to secure our public spaces, right? Okay, how about robotics? AI and robotics. That's another thing that is taking over. And I've told some people, thank God I have young graduates in the house this morning. You see, there are certain skills that 10 years ago, if they say go learn these skills, right? Oh, you'll be like, oh, great skills, great skills. Now, if you want to learn skills, you have to think out of the box. Don't go and waste your time on skills that a machine will replace. Don't go and spend your effort, money on a specific skill or knowledge area that will soon be replaced by what? By machines or AI. I remember those days we have people who are writers. Some of you now, you don't even know how to write text again now. You just go ChatGPT, write a message from you to the commissioner stating this. And like witchcraft, that thing will write a very nice piece for you. He won't tell you, say, do you want me to rewrite or to adjust? Come on. And when you read it, even you feel good. This is nobody impressed me again with writing, because I most likely might be coming from AI. Except, yes, might be coming from AI. There are a lot of platforms. ChatGPT just one, right? They have Google Gemini, right? So thank you. So many of them. So many of them. You have cloud. That's CLAUDE, right? So, okay. What are the other examples? Yeah, Meta AI. This Chinese zone. What's the name? DeepSeek, so many of them. So many of them. And I think DeepSeek is already challenging ChatGPT big time. So, China always want to compete and everything. So I said smart infrastructure integrates advanced technologies such as information, communication technology, Internet of Things, and artificial intelligence to enhance urban safety. Okay? So it's facilitates the gathering and analysis of data to improve decision making and operational efficiency in public spaces. I see a lot of our security agencies being stressed. Some of the things they do, they are being stressed. Number one, we don't have a good number. There's an international ratio of police to citizen. Already, that's not even a discussion again. We know those guys they are what we call it, what's the right word now? Understaffed. Thank you. That's where technology comes in. When you cannot afford to pay so much, so that's why we have that number, then technology comes in to cover up for that lapses. But instead of embracing technology, it seems we are playing around it. And may God give us understanding. So why I said we are stressing our security agencies is that they have to play the role of surveillance, which technology can do. They play the role of response. Okay? They are overwhelmed. What happened to a system whereby the camera detects crime? In fact, one of the things I love about CCTV, one of the things I love about CCTV is the fact that it's not just about crime detection. One of the major roles it plays is crime prevention. You know, they say prevention is better than cure. I love that aspect that it does both. How many times have you seen a house burglar, a regular petty thief, enter a facility unknown to him, and as he wants to operate, he looks up, he sees camera. What do you think comes to his mind? He says, "Oh God, I advise myself." But what is the point of stealing when I know I can be caught? He would rather look for somewhere else that doesn't have what? Camera. Because he has the chances of escaping without being caught. So, so having said that, as I wrap up, technology plays a critical role in public safety by enabling real-time data collection and communication. Innovations like smart surveillance system, environmental sensors help monitor public space. I do deploy CCTV surveillance as part of my installation as an engineer, and there's one of the technologies in some of these cameras that's called motion sensor, right? So the camera is here, and you say, "Oh, nobody's supposed to come around this axis." If anybody comes there, is an unwelcomed individual. So what do? You tell the system, if you sense anybody pass here, alert me. Simple. Just the same way Facebook will pop up notification on your phone and say, "Oh, environment safety just posted." The same way, the app on your phone will just pop up, say human detected. I mean, technology. These are cheap. I mean, they're not that expensive. We don't have some stand-alone camera that you don't even need all this running of wire and everything. They are just stand-alone camera. You just put memory card inside, connect them to your Wi-Fi or whatever. Just put it there, and yet they can detect human, and inform you on your phone with both. I call it audiovisual, with both image, video, and voice. Gone are those days that the only thing you hear from camera is just visual, no sound. Now every camera now comes with visual and sound, right? So technology plays a critical role, like I said, in public safety by enabling real-time data collection and communication. So innovation like smart surveillance system and environmental sensors help monitor public space condition and ensure quick responses to incidents, thereby enhancing overall safety. Let me bring it home. This is what we're saying. So this is a park. And they said the opening time is 8 in the morning, right? And they said closing time is 6 in the evening. Once it is 6, harm all your security cameras for motion what? Detection. The same thing with bank. You said bank open 8 in the morning and we close 5 or 4, say for now, 4, right? Maybe staff stays up till 7, thereabout, or 8, and then you just arm your system from 8 till 5 a.m. the following morning. So once anybody tries to break into the bank system, the trigger goes off. So we could do the same thing for our public. If this mall has closed, it has closed. Harm that place with necessary technology that will alert the authority of any infiltration and any form of act of theft. So with smart infrastructure, cities can optimize operation through predictive analysis. I talked about that, predictive analysis. In fact, some countries now knows crime before it happens. They've gone to that level of surveillance and intelligence gathering that before the perpetrators are even able to execute, they already know. Okay. Let's talk about Burkina Faso, right? So we know what's going on in Burkina Faso. Traoré, the president, his alliance with Russia and everything. That guy would have been taken out long time, if not for intelligence gathering. Most times they know everything before it happens. I guess Russia helped them a lot because Russia is very advanced in the technology. I'm going somewhere about intelligence gathering. One of the areas that we really need to up our game in Nigeria, because it will help us in securing our public facilities, and it will help national safety and security. Intelligence gathering. They know what was about to happen. He knows when people are planning coup before it even happens. and they only just allow it to happen so that people can see. But they already had counter measures in place. So the question is, how strong is our intelligence gathering in Nigeria? What are our equipments? How come we don't even hear when, what did you call it? See, unknown gunmen, unknown headers, bandits, all of them. These guys communicate. They communicate. Why can't we pick on some of those communication and we know the next target and we position ourselves to repel the target before it happens? I know some people might argue that, some department knows, but they are under order. I didn't say it. I didn't know anything about it because you know the way Nigeria operates now. You have to be careful of what you say. But the truth is, it's doable. And that's why we'll not keep silent. We'll keep talking about it till the right people who have the right man who wants Nigeria that work. At least we'll say we know what to do and they're able to execute and implement some of these things. You can pick frequencies in the air. You can pick frequencies. Some of you, okay, for you to even, a little example I can give to you to remember this. Do you remember the early days of FM radio station, where FM was the radio? You know, all of you now, if I say 1 hour, I'll be listening to FM now. Someone say, it's been, but then, FM was a daily thing. You listen to FM radio before internet and Android and, all this technology comes. How many of you have noticed that sometimes you will tune into your FM radio station, but you'll be picking a church close by who are doing maybe a service. Yes. Then their mic comes into your own radio. It's frequency jamming, right? So at least you that you are not even looking for it, you're able to even pick signal. So how much more defense and security? There are equipment. There are equipment. I know these bandits are very smart now. They are not using all this MTN, Airtel again. But those are the advanced among them. There are other groups who are still making use of this regular telephone. So what happened to our Nigerian communication? What do we call it? Is it NCC? So can't we really track? So what I'm saying is that technology can really go a long way in keeping us safe as a nation, keeping our public spaces safe. And let me wrap up this way. That a time will come. If the government, I say this with no iota of fear. I say this with no iota of fear because I'm speaking my mind. I'm entitled to my opinion. I say this, that a time will come in this nation, if the government refuses, like we are talking, we are dialoguing, we'll send this to them, they will pick it up, they will hear it, and they keep not doing anything about it. A time will come in this nation when individuals become like the government. I'm trusting God for a time where some of us will get to a stage where we'll take ownership of our own space, of our own community facilities. So this is what I'm saying. Daddy, mommy, my brother here, my sister over there are in this community. And within that community, everybody I've got it to say, we will take responsibility for the facilities within our environment. So if this community A does that, community B does that, community C does, so what happens? Then you see a larger, safer community. You see, because one of the challenges we have is that we've forgotten that we are the government too. Without us, there will be no government. Who voted people into power? Even though sometimes this does not count, but at least we voted them into power. So I'm saying that I've been advocate of this a very long time. I'm using this opportunity to say it again. That can we please be a little bit less selfish and become more selfless, where Mr. Hay will not just think about him, his family alone, but can think about him and his what? Community. And then we come together, we team up, They say united we what? We stand. And everybody begin to take ownership of their community, the facility in their community, so that I don't care attitude will die. And before you know it, we begin to change the face of this. Guess what will happen? When you are making government to look irrelevant, like what they were supposed to come and use to campaign for you, that they have been using to campaign for 20 years. How can somebody be campaigning on a particular infrastructure? This one will come, they will use it to campaign, nothing. Another one will come, nothing. And they could see that you guys have solved that problem. Fear will grip them. But there's nothing else they want to come to tell you that's what they want to come and do, why you should vote for them. And when you are making them irrelevant, that we can do without, we'll try our best. Then senses begin to come in. Some people say, lie, forget these people. Have you tried it? Don't condemn anything that you have not what? Given a trial. And on this note, I want to say that safety begins with you and me. Thank you very much. God bless you.
We can do better. Let's put our hands together for our guest lecturer. I believe that we have actually gotten a lot from what he has said. Let's put our hands together again for Engineer Abraham Olajide Oni for that wonderful presentation. Now, we will give room for contributions, questions, so that we'll round up this segment as fast as possible. So let's give room for contributions and questions, please.
I'm standing on the distinct protocols. Good evening or good afternoon, everyone. My own is not questions per se. I'm actually very, very impressed and educated by the speaker. First of all, there are so many things you learn with age. There is a proverb in my place that says you learn every day. So my professor used to tell me in the university that our course was not a 5-year course, it was a 40-year course that he too was learning. So today I've learned a lot also. Actually, it is a very sensitive and very important topic that, just like he said, it can be discussed for months without end. Environmental security and the use of technology has come to stay. And until we try to key into it seriously, then we can see that our communities, our country will continue to be at risk. Because at the moment, security has become a problem to the point that it is entering our stomach. Because people are not farming very well as they used to farm because of insecurity. And that is the yams and the groundnuts are suffering insecurity. So that is why we can agree that environmental security does not affect humans alone. It does not affect property alone. It is coming to affect even our food that we eat. Like I said, it's a very large topic. I am an architect, and so I know about the environment, because wherever you want to build, first of all, you must understand the environment, including security. The natural aspect of insecurity is always there. We thank God in Nigeria we don't have too much of it, but we can see what the environment does to other properties and humans in other countries.